Hello again. I'm back this week to talk with you all about signing into Photoshop and go more in depth about what some of these selection tools are and how those might be useful to you as we continue learning about Photoshop. So, the first thing that I'm going to do is come over here, assuming that you've gotten your email telling you that you have access to the Adobe Creative Cloud apps. You'll open the Creative Cloud application on your computer, type in your email address and your password, and then you would be able to download or open Photoshop. And here we are. So this is the first page of Photoshop. Let's go ahead and choose New File. And I'm going to choose the default Photoshop size, 5 by 7 inches, 300 ppi. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about what each selection tool does. We touched on this one last week. This is the Move tool, so this will move elements around your composition. Then we have this sort of group of tools here are your selection tools. We have your rectangular marquee tool, which will draw a rectangle, or if you hold the shift key down, it will draw a square. Beneath that tool, if I click and hold on the tool itself, it shows me the elliptical marquee tool, and this one will allow me to draw like an oval. If I hold the shift key down, I can draw a circle. Then we have the lasso tool, which allows you to make freehand selections. That's useful when you just want to trace around something or make a more organic shape. Any of these selections can be added to. If you hold down the shift key, you see the cursor turn into a plus sign. I can add to this and add to this. I can come over here and put a little dot in there and maybe over here. So I'm holding down the shift key and using the lasso key to make like an organic shape and then add to it. Beneath the lasso tool, we have the polygonal lasso tool, which allows you to make straight line shapes. And what I'm doing here, at every intersection, I'm clicking the mouse. And then when I get to where I want to close the selection loop, it turns into a circle here, and I do that and it becomes a selection. And then maybe I'll hold the shift key down, and I can make some other selections. I can add other selections to it. Fun. So that's the polygonal lasso tool. The next one in the lasso set is the magnetic lasso tool. And what that does is actually looks for edges and will somewhat automatically hold the selection line to the contrasty edge. So for this one, I'm going to open up a file to show you what I mean by that. Birdhouses. All right, so I'm going to hold down the command key and the plus to zoom way in. And so you can see here I have the magnetic lasso tool open. That has a little magnet, right? And here's a real contrasty edge. And so what I'm going to do is click and hold and start pulling down this edge. And you can see that the line is keeping to the edge of the birdhouse. And I'm still guiding it, with the mouse as best as I can. But the magnet in this tool is doing a lot of the work. Oops, right? I kind of got away from it with the mouse. Here we go. Down and boop. All right. And so oh, whoops, it got away from me, the line did. So I'm going to zoom in a little more and use my space bar to turn it into the hand or pan tool to move this around. And I'm going to come back up to this lasso option and I'm going to choose the plain lasso. And so you can see I have that now, and I want to remove this bit of the sky from this birdhouse. So I'm going to hold down the Option key and click and hold to trace over here. Great. Oh, and you can see how I drag that out of the way. You can see how I missed the top too. So I'm going to hold the Shift key down with the lasso tool activated. Whoops. Good enough. And there we have a little selection of the birdhouse. If I wanted to, I could copy that and paste it in as a new layer and turn on the Move tool, and hey, I got a new birdhouse. Our next selection tools are also kind of less for blank canvases than for things that you already have maybe an image of. So for example, here's the Quick Selection tool. We'll start with that one. This one will kind of select an area that it thinks that you want based on the color and the texture. So it allows you, it's a quick selection tool. It's not great, but it's a start, right? Then we'll go to the Magic Wand tool. The Magic Wand tool selects based on the similarity of color. So for example, we have this gray sky here that's very uniform in color, and the Magic Wand selects all of that based on a color tolerance of 20 shades either way. If you want to, you can add different areas to the Magic Wand by clicking the plus again and go over here and do that. Similar to that Magic Wand tool, I should mention Remove Background. This is a new tool in Photoshop that allows you to quickly remove the background. What it doesn't actually remove it, take it out. It just masks out what it thinks is the background. This particular image's background is so uniform that Photoshop doesn't really know what to do with it. So I'm going to undo that in favor of the Object Selection tool, which is a new tool in Photoshop that allows us to, it uses the AI technology to detect what it thinks is a contiguous object and select that. So I have the Object Selection tool here, and you can see how it'll select different parts of the image and will know that they are a single kind of entity, right? It selects the poles of the birdhouses all the way down. And so I can mask that out now and have a good start there with my birdhouses all pulled out of the image. Again, notice this is called a mask. I masked out part of the image. I haven't deleted anything. I've just hidden the other parts of the picture. And so those are some of our commonly used selection tools and kind of a little bit about how to use them. I'll carry on with some more kind of overviews to talk more about different selection tools that we might use, but I think that's probably enough for one sitting. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. I'm J.A. Parker at atlantatech.edu, and thanks for listening.